Everybody, welcome back to Pushing Pixels. I'm your host, Sam Mestis, blah, blah, blah. This is the Rolex ad we did in class via Corey Barker's book, Badass Photoshop Effects. So let's redo this ad like we did in class. So I have my new document here. It is image size, if you go under image, 12 by 8 inches by 100 dots per inch. Okay, 12 by 8. And black on the background. That's going to matter. All right, so the first thing we got to do is we got to grab this ocean file I gave you, this caustic image. So I'm going to hold down my shift key and click on the layer and drag it into my new document. Okay, and if I go to the move tool, V, you can see my keystrokes on the bottom there, by the way. And I'm going to move it over right to the top left corner. Free transform this image, Command T. And I'm going to hold down my shift key to constrain the size and drag it up just a little bit so it's like maybe 2/3 the screen. Let's go with that for now. We got those hard edges right there and we're going to get rid of those any minute. But before we do that, I want to drag across this Rolex watch. Okay, so let's do that. I gave you that guy. Well, again, hold on your shift key, drag the layer, click and drag the watch layer over to your new document and slide it over there. Now I'm going to move it again, V, over to the bottom. I kind of want it right about there. I'm thinking I might leave it like that. I'm also going to set the blend. First of all, I'm going to change the layer to watch. Rename my layers. I'm going to set that one to ocean. Ocean. There we go. All right. On the watch layer, let's set the blend mode to. Well, that's dumb. Hold on, everybody. Let me get rid of that. That was stupid. Why would you want that again? Weird. Let me see if I can do this. There it is. No. Why would I do that? That's annoying. All right. Thanks for nothing, utility. All right. So where was I? Oh yeah. Let's set the watch blend mode to screen so it ignores all that black back there. We got a black background anyway, so we're good. So I'm going to hit the pull down until I go to screen, and you'll see all that black disappears right there. All right, we're good to go now. We don't have to fix anything else on that. Close out my watch. I don't need to see that. And okay, hide that for a second. Back to our document. Let's get rid of this hard edge real quick. So let's put a mask on our ocean right there. And to put a mask, you can go down to the very bottom of the layers tool and third one over from the left, it's a circled square. Click on that and it will put a mask right there on your layer. Make sure the white brackets are around the mask. All right, let's reset our colors if they're not reset. So if you hit D, no, I don't want that. There we go. Sorry about that. If you hit D, it'll reset your colors. And if white is your foreground color, hit X, because we want black to be our foreground color. X, hitting the X key allows you to go back and forth between your foreground and background color. So make sure black is your foreground color. Hit G for gradient. And if you go up here, you are looking for something in the basics. It's probably the very first one. And it is 100% black to nothing. Okay? So click that, make sure that one's selected, right? And hit OK. And now, while you're on the mask, go to the gradient tool. We're still in gradient. And I'm going to click and drag in right here from the left to the, or from the right to the left. Actually, you know what? I'm going to start up here in the corner. And I'm going to start in the bottom. And I'm going to start right about here. And then I'm going to drag in just a little bit left and right. Okay? There we go. Not too bad. That's kind of what we're looking for, that deal. All right, so let's grab our other documents again. What do we have here? Boing. Yeah, we need that diver, don't we? We need that diver, right? Before we do the diver, let's find the map. Let's do the map real quick. All right, that guy right there. So let's hold down our shift key and drag the layer over again. Hold down shift and click and drag. Pretty cool. Now go to M for move and move it up to the top left corner, right about there. I don't need this anymore. And let's work with them. Let's work with this. First of all, I'm going to name it map in my layers, and I'm going to make sure it's at the top of my layer stack. All right, above everything. And let's take the color out of it. Desaturate. Controller Command Shift U will take all the color out of it. And if you really want to do it a different way, image adjustments, desaturate, fourth from the bottom. All right. So it's white text, it's black text on white paper. I want it the opposite. So I'm going to hit Command or Control I, and that'll invert it for us. Pretty good stuff, right? All right, we're off to the races here a little bit. Let's set that map layer to screen blend mode, because screen will get rid of all that black for me. So I'm going to scroll down until I hit screen, and there it is. Nice stuff, right? All right, we have to get rid of the edges just like we did with the ocean. So back to putting masks on it. So make sure that layer is selected. Go down to the bottom and hit circled square from the right or on the left there, and add a layer mask. Right. So we got a nice mask right there. Make sure the white brackets are around it. Go back to gradient G. Make sure black is your foreground color. I gotta pick the right one. There it is. All right. And I'm going to drag from the corner right here, and I'm going to drag from the top up there, and I'm going to get rid of that edge right there a little bit, and then maybe some right here, and some right there. That's not too bad. All right, pretty good stuff. All right, I'm going to actually put it behind the watch on the layer stack. I'm going to grab that layer and drag it down till it's behind the watch. There we go. That's a lot better. And I'm not completely in love with this thing right here. I mean, it's fine, but it's not really wooing me here. That's a little bit better. All right, let's go over here and grab our diver. Now we took the top right guy right there. I'm gonna zoom in just a hair here. All right, so we want this guy right here. So I'm gonna grab my lasso tool, third one in the toolbar, third one down. Just grab the one that says lasso tool, and I'm going to just do a very rough selection around him. All right, that's not too bad. It's easy. And go to the move tool, V, right? And if you move your mouse inside that selection, it turns into an arrow and a pair of scissors. That means it's going to let you cut that out. So I'm going to click and drag him out and put him over here in my document. And there he is, pretty slick, right? He's super huge, so let's free transform it. Command T, and I can't see all the handles. Well, I can start with this though. I'm going to scale him down, holding down Shift and Alt. I'm going to scale him down more, holding down Shift and Alt, right? And maybe right about there. Great. I'm going to name him Diver on the layers so I know which one he is. And I too am going to set that layer to multiplies, because I only want to see the blacks. I don't want to see that white. I just want to see black. There we go. Now let's turn the opacity of that layer down to, I don't remember what we said, how about 80-ish, somewhere around there. That's pretty good, right? All right, looking pretty darn snazzy here. All right, we're going to make the, we didn't do this in class, but we're going to make the seafloor. So let's do that. On the top layer up there, let's put a new layer at the very, very top. I'm going to click the new layer button here next to the garbage can. And I'm going to name that layer seafloor. All right, pretty good. And I'm going to reset my colors to black and white. Hit D, and that'll reset your colors, right? And here we go. So on that new seafloor layer we just made, it's completely empty, but we're going to fill it up. If you go to Filter, Render, Clouds, you are going to get that effect. Now it doesn't look like a seafloor yet, but we'll get there. So with that layer still selected, go back to Filter, Blur, Gaussian Blur, and we're going to use 10 as a radius. So set your deal to 10 and then click OK. So that's nice. It softens that up a little bit. Okay. Now we need to go add one more final filter, and this is an old legacy filter. So go back to Filter, Filter Gallery, third one down. And in the artistic folder at the very top, if you twirl that down, you're looking for something called plastic wrap. It's on the right, third one down. And your settings for that are going to be 15 for highlight, 6 for details, 11 for smoothness, okay? And when you do that, it's going to give us this sort of caustic looking thing. Kind of looks like water. And I'm going to hit OK. And that's pretty good, I think. All right. Now, I do not know where my final note is on that. What was that? 8, 9, 10. Here it is, right here. All right, so we have that. We need to add some color to this because it looks weird. It doesn't look like the ocean floor. It looks bizarre. So let's add some color. If we hit Command or Control U, that will bring up the hue and saturation dialog box. And this is where we can add some color to it. So, but you have to click the colorize button here at the bottom. So turn that on, and you can see I'm already doing red because my hue is set to red. I'm going to move my top slider over till it says about 190. Let's use that. That's a good color. And then just click OK. Remember, you got to hit colorize to do that. And click OK. That is not too bad, right? All right, now we need to free transform this. First of all, I'm going to move this C down right above the background here. So it's second from the bottom layer down there. All right, and I'm going to hit Command T until I get all the handles, and I'm going to grab the middle one here and drag it down to right about there. That's looking pretty good. It looks kind of looks like a seafloor. Let's darken it up just a little bit more though. Let's level it. Command L. All right, and that'll bring up our levels dialog box. And on this, I'm going to grab the black slider on the left over here, and I'm going to start dragging it to the right until I get a nice sort of contrast there. That's not too bad. I have it at like 126-ish right there, but that's pretty close. Let's go with that. All right. And I'm going to turn the opacity of this layer down just a bit. Oh, I don't even remember what I turned it down to, but let's say 70. Yeah, let's say 75. That's not too bad. All right. Now we got to get rid of that hard line right there because that ain't gonna work. So let's put a mask on it again. So select C4, going down to the bottom, third one from the left, and hit mask. Right. There's another mask right there. It's got the white brackets around it. Back to G for gradient. Make sure you have black to 100% white. Okay. You get that by clicking on the color bar up there and looking for the one you need. All right. And then from the top, I'm just going to drag down just a little bit till it softens that up just a hair. And that's our seafloor. Pretty slick, right? Okay. One more thing I got to give you guys. This is looking pretty good. I gave you the logo, I believe, did I not? I gave you this logo. Now the problem with this logo is it's enormous, but it's also a bunch of different colors. Okay? So let's do ourselves a favor. Put a new layer above this one, a blank one. So down at the bottom there next to the garbage can, click that little button and you'll get a new layer. Okay? It's blank though. So now we can pick this and make it a selection and fill it with a color. So let's do that. So make sure you're holding down your Command or Control key and click on the little picture inside your Layers tab. That tiny little picture, if you click on it and holding down your Command or Control key, it will make a selection of whatever is on that layer. In this case, it selected the logo. On that new layer above now, right, we can fill that now with white since there's nothing on that layer. So if we go to Edit, Fill, and I'm going to make sure white is selected in the contents and click OK, it filled it with white. I'm going to deselect Command D. The other one's still there. We don't need that one. We need this white one now, right? And now we have that. I'm going to grab I'm going to hold down my Shift key and drag that layer across. Make sure it's on the very top. And we're going to free transform that Command T. It is enormous. And holding down Shift and Alt, I'm going to scale it down. Scale it down. It's still scale it down some more. It's a little bit too. And I'm going to just put it right under that diver. Line him up pretty good. That's not the worst thing I've ever seen. It's weird, but it's not the worst thing I've ever seen. And there you go. Gave you a couple things you didn't even do in class. I don't need that. All right, there you go. In theory, at the end, I would also probably add like a curves layer and tone this up a little bit and sort of play with some contrasting. That might be one thing or do. But other than that, that's kind of how we built this ad. All right, everybody, go have a good time with it. Give it another shot and see what you think. Have a good one.